evolution in which the me is transcended. That is, that it will rise to a higher level.
Yes, will the transition need, does transition need time?
The transcendence, the transition.
Yeah. That's my whole question.
Yes. So there are two questions. One is, will the me ever improve? Now, that's one argument. And another argument is, even if we suppose we want to get beyond the me, can that be done in time? Is that it?
That cannot be done in time.
That's yes. Now, I have to make it clear why not.
Yes, I will. We'll go into it.
Mm-hmm.
What is the me? If the psyche has such a different meanings, the me is the whole movement which thought has brought about.
Well, why do you say that?
The me is the consciousness, my consciousness. The me is my name, form, and all the various experiences that I've had, remembrances, and so on. The whole structure of the being is put together by thought.
Yes, well, that again will be something which some people might find it hard to accept. That
of course, we're discussing it.
Yeah, but I mean also to try to bring it out. Now,
yes.
The first experience, the first feeling I have about the me is that the me is there independently, and that the me is thinking. That
is the me independent of my thinking?
Well, my own first feeling is the me is there independent of my thinking, and it is the me that is thinking. You see, like
yes.
I am here, and I could move my arm, or I could think, or I could move my head, you know.
Yes.
Now, is that an illusion?
No.
Why?
Because the me, when I move my arm, there is the intention to grasp something, to take something, to put something, which is also, first, is the movement of thought, and that makes the arm move, and so on. My contention is, and I'm ready to accept it as false or true, that thought is the basis of all this.
Yes, your contention is that the whole sense of the me and what it is doing is coming out of thought. Now, what you mean by thought, though, is not merely intellectual.
No, of course not.
But what more? Let me see.
Thought is a movement of experience, knowledge, memory, and thought. It's this whole movement.
It sounds to me as if you mean the movement of consciousness as a whole.
As a whole, that's right.
And you say, and that now and you're saying that movement is the me, right?
That whole, the whole content of that consciousness is the me.
Yes. Well, there's quite a few.
That me is not different from my consciousness.
Yes. Well, someone might feel, but I think one could say that I am my consciousness, because if I'm not conscious, I'm not here, right?
Of course.
Now, is consciousness nothing but, say, what you have just described, which includes thought, feeling, intention,
aspirations,
memories,
beliefs, dogmas, the rituals have performed, the whole, like the computer that's been programmed.
Yes. Now, there are some. That certainly is in consciousness. Everybody would agree. But some people would feel, or many people would feel, that there's more to it than that. That consciousness.
Let's go into it. It is the content of our consciousness makes up the consciousness, the content.
Yes, I think that requires, some understanding that, you see, the ordinary use of the word content is quite different. If you say that the content of a glass is water, right?
Yes.
So the glass is one thing and the water is another, right?
I know. No.
That contains, the water glass contains the water. Now, the word content would suggest that something contains it, right?
All right. Consciousness is made up of all what it has remembered, beliefs, dogmas, rituals, the nationalities, fears, pleasures, sorrow,
Yes. Now, if all that were absent, would there be no consciousness?
Not as we know it.
But there still would be a kind of consciousness.
A totally different kind.
Well, then I think you really mean to say that consciousness as we know it is made up.
I said that.
Oh, yes.
Consciousness as we know it
Yes.
is all that.
As we generally know it. Right?
Yes. And that is the result of multiple activities of thought. Thought has put all this together, which is my consciousness. The reactions, the responses, the memories, the remembrances, extraordinary complex intricacies, subtleties, all that makes up consciousness.
As we know it.
Huh?
As we know it, right?
As I said that.
Yes.
As we know it.
Yes. Now,
Is
yeah.
whether that consciousness has a future.
Yes. Does it have a past?
Of course,
Has a
it's
past.
remembrance.
Yes, remembrance. So why do you say it has no future then?
If it has a future, it will be exact the same kind of thing moving. The same activity, same thoughts, same modified, but the pattern will be repeated over and over again.
Yes. Now, are you saying that thought can only repeat?
Yes.
But there's a feeling that thought can develop new ideas, for example.
But thought being limited, because knowledge is limited. If you admit that knowledge will always be limited.
Yes, well, that again might require some discussion.
Of course, we must
Yes,
discuss.
you see, now, why do you say knowledge is always limited?
Because as a scientist, you're experimenting, adding, searching. So you're adding. And after you, some other person will add more. So knowledge, which is born of experience, is limited.
Yes, though some people have said it isn't, they would hope to obtain perfect knowledge or absolute knowledge of the laws of nature.
The laws of nature is not the laws of human being.
Well, do you want to restrict the discussion then to knowledge about the human being, right?
Of course, that's all what we're
Or even
talking
there you
about.
could question whether that knowledge of nature is possible,
Of course,
too.
we are talking about the future of man.
Yeah, now, but, all right, so we're saying that man cannot obtain unlimited knowledge of the psyche. Is that what
Yeah, that's right.
There's always more that's unknown.
There's more and more unknown.
Yes.
So, if once we admit that knowledge is limited, then thought is limited.
Yes, we don't, thought depends on knowledge, and the knowledge does not cover everything.
That's right.
Therefore, thought will not be able to handle everything
Yes.
that happens, right?
That's what the politicians and all the other people are doing. They think thought can solve every problem.
Yes, you can see in the case of the politicians that knowledge is very limited. In fact, it's almost non-existent. And therefore, when you lack the adequate knowledge of what you're dealing with, you create confusion, right?
Yes. So, then, as thought is limited, our consciousness, which has been put together by thought, is limited.
Yes. Now, why does that mean can you make it clear that means we can only stay in the same circle?
Same circle.
See, one of the ideas might be, if you compare with science, that people might think, though my knowledge is limited, I'm constantly discovering.
But what you discover
Yeah.
is added to, but it's still is limited.
It's still limited. That's the point, that I can keep on. See, I think one of the ideas behind a scientific approach is that though knowledge is limited, I can discover and keep up with the actuality.
But that's also limited.
My discoveries are limited, and there's always the unknown which I have not
That's why
discovered
I'm
now.
saying the unknown the limitless cannot be captured by